just coming up to the end of our road trip with this Forester. We're about to sell it right near the airport, Narita Airport, where we're going to leave. The guy who's buying it, he's a mad guy actually. He's going to drop us off from where his shop is to the airport, and then we get to go home. But we'll be back very soon, so we'll probably buy another car when we come back, sadly. Yeah, journey comes to an end.
Greasy face. Little puppy. There's a little puppy.
You got grease in your face. Datsun 240Z or Fairlady Z432. Akasuka 240. So I've just arrived home back in Australia just before the travel ban back to Australia has begun, and I'm just going to take you through some of the parts I bought at upgarages. So we'll start with stickers. Got some pretty cool stuff. This one actually isn't from upgarage. This is from like a thrift shop in Tokyo, and these are all upgarage, like over racing upgarage. This one's pretty cool actually. I forget exactly what it is, but it's super cool. Just the standard new tow handles, air freshener, bride racing sticker, one of these stickers. I see there's a lot in Japan actually. On drift cars they have them pointing down to the tow point in the rear, and it's GP Sports. They're really cool, so I thought I'd just grab one. I've got nice coolant temperature sensor housing, and this little splitty system to chuck in between your radiator hoses. Is really cool. I found this one, and that was really cool, but then I actually found this one, which is much cooler, which is a Duran one. And I found this at another upgarage. I went to about 6 different upgarages, so found some cool stuff. Also got an oil filter sandwich plate, which is pretty cool. It's a Duran as well. And then a D1 spec horn button, which I don't really need a horn button because I have 90s and I have 90 horn buttons, but this is pretty cool. I think I might just leave it in the casing actually for now. It's super cool. This is a little memento that I got from Ebisu. So just a bit of a drift damage. I think it was from a crash. It just fell off a JZX90. Pretty sweet. Upgarage flag for the garage one day. So these two will definitely go in the garage. These little indicator stalk extensions. These are really handy when you're running a quick release. Obviously it makes it a much longer reach to get your indicators, but I've been needing these for a long time. I've never really bothered buying them, but then when you're going into up garages and they're everywhere, I thought I may as well. But it's a standard brand. They're not like Vertex or anything too crazy, but I don't really care as long as they do the job. And I only went black because my steering wheel is a black Classic 90 360, and then I got a black NRG quick release. This bad boy, which is the HKS air intake. These are the OG really cool air intakes that are super popular for drift cars, especially in the 90s in Japan. I've wanted one of these for a long time. This one actually was much cheaper than I thought. I went to heaps of up garages and they were rather expensive, but this one was quite cheap. The logo's in really good nick and it works really well actually. And then I've also got a HKS super filter, a new one, a yellow one. I don't know why I went with yellow. It's just a cool colour. I like yellow. And I think it'll look really good in that housing. I'm obviously going to keep the filter in this housing as well because that's the OG green. And last, oh no, actually they're not last but not least, but these are pretty cool. These are actually the plates off of the car that Emily and I bought. Got to bring them home. You can normally only keep them when you recycle a car. So you can't keep them plates if you import a car over from Japan, as you do need to hand the plates in back to the roads departments. But when you recycle a car, you can keep the plates, which is really cool. So yeah, they'll be nice for track days. We'll chuck them on, as well as whatever really, like just photos. You're going to take photos of the car. It's pretty sweet. And then last but not least, something really cool that I found in Japan is this. It is a genuine Blitz radiator cap. The sticker is in really, really good nick. Even the urethane on the bottom for the seal is like fresh. This thing is like unused, and it wasn't actually that expensive, and as soon as I saw it I grabbed it because I knew that this was a nice little piece. So yeah, I'm still a resident essentially in Japan, so we'll be back in maybe like 4 or 5 months we'll head back to Japan. So I'll be hitting up a lot more up garages then, but I'll just work my ass off until then, make some good money, and then yeah, next time I go back I'll be buying more. I also bought some wheels, but they're going to be here in about 6 weeks, and then I'm sure I'll probably make a video for them arriving as well and putting them on the car, but they're really cool. They're going to go well with another set of really cool old school Japanese wheels that I have. It'll be small boy wheel time, 15-inch kind of thing, you know. Yeah. Done a bit of research and it seems that RX-7 mirrors can fit on 180s as well as A86s. They're all very similar door shapes. These are my RX-7 genuine RE and Mimiya mirrors. They're very, very nice. But yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just change out the old filter for the new one. It's pretty exciting. Okay. So here is the old one. It's pretty dirty. It looks like it's probably been used maybe for a couple of years on an old drift car, which is super cool. I'm still going to keep it just as a little memento kind of thing. But it definitely needs a new filter. Ooh, nice, fresh. So there it is there, and you've got to kind of just pop it in the filter housing and with the steel frame for it. Cool. So there you go. That's pretty sweet. So, just going to take the stickers off the side of the car, and you're going to try and make the car in the next 2 weeks in quarantine.
Quarantine.
Wider. Factory with the 180. That's sick.
You guys are supposed to be 1.4 meters away. I mean 1.5 meters away from each other.
I've got AIDS now.
No, but I didn't really get it because you said quarantining.
Oh well, that's alright. It's a joke. Put it in the video. So we're going to start removing all the stickers off the side. So the next 2 weeks we're going to try and clean this car up a bit while in quarantine and make it a nice clean streeter. Should be pretty sweet. Alright, so got these little indicator extensions. Where's the bolt for that? Motherfucker. It's missing a bolt. So essentially it just goes over your indicator stalk like that, and then when you're running a quick release like me and it's got a long distance, you can essentially just like click up and down without having to reach too far. So the car still needs a wash, but the stickers are gone, little imprints are still there, but and then now this is done. So essentially when you got a quick release on, it just makes it easy to hit your indicators. Most people just do it for one side, but I want it for both sides just because of it's kind of like OCD for me. I like to have them both there. They are one-sided though, so it makes it kind of annoying, but it's not too big of a problem. And that looks good, all black, nice and neat. Black steering wheel, NRG quick release, boss kit, now indicator stalk extensions. Very nice. So also grab these Moon Eyes air freshener, which is pretty sweet. Just gonna chuck that on. And there you go. Looks pretty sweet. I'm going to leave on my other air fresheners because they're pretty cool as well. Got this Duran coolant temperature sensor housing, and then this Duran oil filter sandwich plate. I'm just going to open it up and have a suss. Oh, there you go. Nice. Matching. Beautiful. Oh, it comes with a filter as well. Beautiful. Alright, so today I'm just going to install my gauges. I'm just under the head unit. So I'm just taking out this little storage compartment in here. And then I'll chuck them in, I'll wire them up. And then I'll wire all the sensor wiring through. There's a little boot down there that goes through the firewall. And then I might hook up the sensors today if I get time. We'll see. Okay, so I've just gotten the head unit out and I've found these 3 CDs, which are interesting. Nusrat, the Disciple, Nusrat, the Master, Everybody on Dance Floor 12. Makes me question the previous owners. So this bracket was made for the RX-7, so when I get a chance I'll have to reshape it or see if I can just make a new one to make it fit correctly. And that'll be all sweet, but let's turn her on. There you go, beautiful. The Duran coolant temperature sensor housing will go essentially in the middle of this hose here, this radiator hose. I'll try and make it so it kind of like looks and stands out, looks cool. And for this Duran oil sensor housing, well, it filters down there, you can see it, but I wouldn't mind doing a relocation just up here. That'd be nice and easy to get to, and it'll look pretty cool as well. The sensors are kind of annoying. I might need to buy a new oil pressure sensor because this thing is huge. It's crazy. Alright, so this one's a pretty easy one. Off the top radiator hose, and now kind of just mocking up how I'm going to put in the coolant temperature sensor housing. I think I need to cut a little bit more off both sides of the hose, and that should fit. So there you go, that one's all installed. About to put some more water in it and just bleed the coolant system correctly. Bleeding it, it's not leaking and it's stopped blowing bubbles, so now I can chuck the cap back on. So, Blitz radiator cap is on, the temperature sensor housing is on for the coolant, all Duran under there. Got the HKS filter on, this looks sweet. Right, so now I'm actually just going to clean the rear windscreen glass, and I've got some stickers to put in a little stack. Yeah, I'm definitely liking what it looks like from the rear now. Alright, and now the most important one. So this is really cool. I saw this a lot in Japan. So I saw this a lot at Ebisu. A lot of the track cars there had a little arrow pointing down to their tow point. So when you ever get stuck in a ditch and you need to be pulled out, they come and, essentially just see the tow point because they've got this little sticker here. And this is really cool. It's actually GP Sports. So it's pretty dope, and I'm going to chuck it on now. Put it in my pocket this time. All the styling you see over there is amazing, and I'll be going back very soon. But in the meantime, I'd like to take what I saw over there in Japan and bring it here to my own car. And definitely makes a big difference going over there and seeing how the Japanese do it. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a gap up top, but I'm pretty happy with that. I might just paint them black. I haven't had to modify them at all. And then once they look black, that looks sweet. So I've decided to go ahead with it. I've just painted them black now. Sweet. Yeah, so now I'm just about to put the mirrors on, and they're actually looking quite good. Yeah, the black's not perfect, but it's pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with that. Really nice. Honestly, it's pretty amazing that these mirrors are made for an RX-7, and the 180 literally has the holes for these mirrors in the exact place they need to be. One bolt there, one bolt there. Just tighten them up, and the fit up there isn't obviously perfect, but once the door's shut, it looks kind of clean. That's just crazy how good that is, having two holes that are perfectly where they need to be. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Look at that. Not even made for this car. Alright, so today, one of the things I got done was wiring up these Cat's little foggy kind of style lights, which are super cool. One of the globes on the left one is blown, so I've just got to order one of them, but the right one's all good. I put the jack plates on just to see what it would look like, and I think I'm going to run my plates, my standard plates actually on the side. I like that spot there. It's quite nice. I wired up everything for the coolant temperature sensor, and that gauge is now working, which is sweet. Also routed all the wiring ready for the oil sandwich plate. That's all good to go. Most importantly, fitted these RE Mimiya RX7 mirrors, and they fit really, really nice. Yeah, nice. So also I wired in this little switch here, which is for the front cat's fog lights, and then also this little switch here is for the rear LED lights. It's just like a little kind of thing for night driving, I guess when you go up to Donna or something and you sort of make it look cool. It's pretty sweet. Also vacuumed the car, which is sweet. And then honestly, other than that, I think the only other thing that I did was, yeah, just bit up those mirrors. That's where most of the work was.